The Vegas Bridge, Part 2, Program 1 City of Tomorrow. Chapter 12, Delving into Urban Secrets. The sterile white chamber of the Vegas Bridge enveloped Neo and Trinity after their intense encounter with the malfunctioning energy core. Neo's muscles still hummed with the remnants of virtual combat, finding solace in the familiarity of the chamber. Trinity's lips curled into a faint smile as she broke the silence, acknowledging the intensity of their recent ordeal. Neo reciprocated with a chuckle, reminiscing about the virtual skirmish with the drones. Yet, beneath their banter lingered a profound realization. The technological meltdown program had transitioned from a mere pastime to a practical exercise in preparation for potential threats. The Vegas Bridge, once a haven for leisure, now doubled as a training ground. With renewed purpose, Neo approached the holographic control panel, setting aside thoughts of relaxation. Today, their objective was knowledge, one that could empower them beyond virtual boundaries. Navigating through the program categories, Neo's attention gravitated towards urban exploration. The submenu unfurled, offering an array of options from bustling metropolises to forgotten ruins. Trinity's excitement mirrored Neo's as they both agreed to venture into Hong Kong nights. The familiar white chamber dissolved, unveiling the mesmerizing vista of Victoria Harbor. Neo marveled at the grandeur of the virtual cityscape, captivated by its vibrant energy. Transported into a bustling street market, Neo and Trinity immersed themselves in the sensory tapestry of the virtual city. Amidst the aromatic symphony of street food and the vibrant hustle of holographic denizens, a disturbance erupted nearby. Their instinctual response propelled them towards the commotion. Weaving through the crowd with seamless coordination, Neo and Trinity confronted a group of hooded figures accosting a holographic man. Neo's authoritative intervention prompted a tense standoff. However, the confrontation was swiftly diffused by the timely arrival of a holographic police officer, his presence commanding respect. As the situation de-escalated, Neo and Trinity's curiosity piqued. Their encounter wasn't just a random event but a gateway to uncovering deeper truths within the virtual city. Following the officer's departure, Neo and Trinity embarked on an investigative journey, delving into the shadowy recesses of the digital metropolis. Their pursuit unveiled a clandestine network operating beneath the city's facade, hinting at a realm of intrigue and mystery. Their quest culminated in a dramatic confrontation within a hidden chamber, where Neo and Trinity confronted enigmatic figures guarding a pulsating data chip. Before they could unravel the mystery, the holographic police officer reappeared, his demeanor transformed from friend to foe. Neo and Trinity found themselves ensnared in a precarious situation, entangled in a web of urban secrets with uncertain consequences. With the holographic police officer's sudden appearance, Neo and Trinity found themselves caught between uncertainty and danger. The officer's stern command to freeze sent a chill down their spines, their senses heightened as they assessed the escalating situation. The holographic figures, previously subdued by Neo and Trinity, now regained their composure, their hooded visages concealing any hint of emotion. Tension thickened in the air as the room became a battleground of conflicting motives. Neo's mind raced, searching for a strategy to defuse the confrontation. He exchanged a silent glance with Trinity, their unspoken communication a testament to their shared resolve. Before Neo could formulate a plan, the holographic police officer's voice boomed once again, demanding an explanation for their intrusion into the clandestine meeting. His cybernetic gaze bore into them, his posture emanating authority and suspicion. Trinity stepped forward, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. She explained their intention to uncover the truth behind the hooded figure's activities, emphasizing their commitment to upholding justice even within the virtual realm. Neo supplemented Trinity's assertion, his words measured yet resolute. He outlined their discovery of the hidden chamber and the suspicious behavior of the figures guarding the data chip. The holographic police officer remained stoic, his cybernetic eye scrutinizing their every word. After a tense silence, he relented, acknowledging the gravity of their allegations. With a decisive nod, the holographic police officer signaled his intent to investigate further. He instructed Neo and Trinity to stand down, assuring them that their actions would be scrutinized but also respected. As the holographic figures were apprehended and the data chip secured, Neo and Trinity exchanged a wordless acknowledgement of their shared victory. Despite the perilous circumstances, their resolve remained unshaken. With the confrontation resolved, Neo and Trinity emerged from the hidden chamber, their minds abuzz with questions and possibilities. The revelation of a clandestine network operating within the virtual city only fueled their determination to uncover the truth. As they returned to the bustling streets of the virtual metropolis, Neo and Trinity knew that their journey was far from over. Armed with newfound knowledge and unwavering resolve, they embarked on the next phase of their investigation, prepared to delve deeper into the urban secrets that lay hidden within the digital labyrinth of the Vegas Bridge. Chapter 13. Confrontation with Corporate Power. Neo and Trinity exchanged a tense glance, caught red-handed in the midst of an illicit operation. The air crackled with unspoken questions. Was the officer working with these shadowy figures all along? Or had they stumbled upon a deeper conspiracy, one that extended beyond petty street thugs? "We were just investigating a lead," Neo stammered, his voice betraying a touch of uncertainty. "We saw these guys acting suspicious, and—" Trinity cut him off, her tone firm. "We found this," she declared, holding up the pulsating data chip. "We think it might be connected to some kind of illegal activity." The officer's gaze flickered between them and the data chip. A flicker of something akin to frustration crossed his cybernetic eye. "Look," he sighed, his voice dropping to a low growl. "This isn't some playground mystery you can just stumble into. This goes deeper than you think." "Deeper?" Neo pressed, his curiosity piqued. "What do you mean?" But before the officer could elaborate, a new voice filled the room. A tall, slender figure emerged from the shadows, their face obscured by a dark hood. Their voice, amplified through a voice modulator, echoed with a cold, calculating authority. "Officer Chen," the figure hissed, their words laced with disdain. "These interlopers seem to have gotten themselves in over their heads." "Perhaps a little. Reprogramming is in order." Chen hesitated, his stance tense. Despite his imposing figure, a flicker of fear danced in his cybernetic eye. Neo and Trinity, sensing the shift in power dynamics, took a cautious step back. "Leave it to me," Chen finally said, his voice tight. "I can handle this." The hooded figure let out a chilling laugh. "Do you truly believe you have a choice, officer? You've seen too much already. Now, either you dispose of them, or—" The figure trailed off, the unspoken threat hanging heavy in the air. Neo and Trinity knew they couldn't rely on the officer. This wasn't just about a stolen data chip anymore. They were caught in the crosshairs of a larger conspiracy. With a shared look of determination, they launched a surprise attack. Trinity, channeling her agility honed through virtual combat programs, leapt over a table, aiming a well-placed kick at the nearest hooded figure. Neo, fueled by a surge of adrenaline, launched himself at the officer, hoping to disarm him before he could join the fight. The dimly lit room erupted into chaos. The hooded figures, despite their fear of the officer, fought back with surprising ferocity. Their movements, though not as refined as Neo and Trinity's, were fueled by desperation. The clash of virtual blows echoed through the room, the air crackling with electric energy from deflected attacks. Chen, caught off guard by Neo's sudden attack, stumbled back. However, unlike the other figures, he didn't fight back with violence. Instead, his hands flew across a holographic control panel hidden beneath his cybernetic arm. Accessing override protocol, a robotic voice echoed from the officer's internal systems. Initiating lockdown sequence. The walls of the room began to close in, a virtual representation of a physical security measure. Panic flared in Neo's chest as the space constricted around them. They had to escape before they were crushed. With a final burst of strength, Neo disarmed his opponent, sending the data chip clattering across the floor. Trinity, momentarily freed, snatched it up just as the walls met in the center of the room. A blinding white light engulfed them as the lockdown sequence completed. When their vision cleared, they found themselves back in the familiar white chamber of the Vegas Bridge. The sterile environment felt almost comforting compared to the tension they had just escaped. "We're back," Neo said, his voice raspy. He looked at Trinity, her face pale but her eyes burning with determination. "We got the data chip," she confirmed, clutching the small device in her hand. But the victory felt hollow. They had escaped, but the bigger questions remained unanswered. Who were those people? Neo questioned, his voice laced with frustration. And why was the officer working with them? Trinity shook her head, her gaze fixed on the data chip. I don't know, but I have a feeling this chip holds the key. We just need to figure out how to access the information on it. Suddenly, a holographic voice echoed through the chamber, startling them both. Congratulations, operatives! You have successfully completed the Urban Undercover program. Would you like to analyze the retrieved data chip? Neo and Trinity exchanged a surprised look. This was unexpected. Did the Vegas Bridge somehow anticipate their next move? Or was it simply a convenient coincidence? Yes, Neo replied without hesitation. The data chip was their only lead, and the Vegas Bridge offered a potential solution. The chamber walls shimmered and reconfigured, morphing into a sterile analysis lab. Rows of holographic screens flickered to life, displaying complex data streams and intricate circuit diagrams. In the center of the room stood a holographic data reader, its metallic surface humming with anticipation. Trinity cautiously placed the chip in the reader. A wave of energy scanned the device, and the screens erupted with a flurry of information. Gigabytes of data streamed across the displays, a complex mix of code, encrypted messages, and holographic blueprints. This is a lot to process, Trinity muttered, her brow furrowed as she scanned the data streams. We need a way to filter this information, to find what's relevant. Just as she spoke, a holographic interface materialized beside the reader. It resembled a neural link, a series of glowing tendrils designed to interface directly with the user's mind. This interface can help you analyze the data, the same mechanical voice from before explained. It will allow you to filter information based on keywords and identify patterns within the code. However, a warning: this process requires a high level of mental focus. Proceed with caution. Neo and Trinity exchanged a hesitant glance. Linking directly to the Vegas Bridge was a new level of immersion, one they hadn't encountered before. But the potential benefits were too great to ignore. We can do this, Neo said, his voice filled with determination. Let's see what secrets this chip holds. With a nod, both Neo and Trinity reached out and grasped the shimmering tendrils of the neural link. A wave of information washed over them, flooding their minds with raw data and complex code. The holographic screens became extensions of their consciousness, allowing them to navigate the vast ocean of information with an unprecedented level of detail. Hours melted away as they delved into the data. They sifted through encrypted messages, piecing together fragments of a conversation between a shadowy corporation and a group of rogue hackers. The corporation, identified only by the codename Iron Sun, seemed to be engaged in a covert operation, manipulating the virtual world for their own gain. The holographic blueprints depicted a massive data center, its intricate network of servers pulsating with an unnatural energy. A chilling realization dawned on them: the corporation was somehow siphoning power from the virtual world, potentially destabilizing the entire Vegas Bridge system. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they stumbled upon a file titled Project Chimera. It contained detailed schematics for a program designed to create sentient entities within the virtual world. These entities, dubbed Chimera, were intended to be used as digital soldiers, a virtual army at the corporation's command. The revelation sent a shiver down their spines. The Vegas Bridge, designed as a training ground for Morpheus's rebellion, was being weaponized by unseen forces. The virtual world they had come to rely on, the world that had pushed them to their limits and honed their skills, was no longer a safe haven. It was a battleground. As they disconnected from the neural link, exhaustion gnawed at their minds and bodies. But the weight of their discovery fueled a fire in their hearts. They weren't just training anymore. They were preparing for a war, a fight for the future of the virtual world, and potentially, the real world as well. Iron Sun, Neo muttered, the name echoing in the sterile lab. We have a name, and we have a target. Trinity nodded, a grim smile playing on her lips. Then let's get to work, she declared. We may not know what the future holds, but one thing's for sure: it won't be boring. The white chamber flickered back into existence, but the world outside felt different now. The once familiar environment held a hidden darkness, a reminder of the unseen forces lurking beneath the surface. Neo and Trinity stepped out, forever changed by their encounter with corporate power. They were no longer just operatives within the Vegas Bridge, they were its guardians, ready to face whatever threats lurked in the shadows. The fight for the virtual world, and their own destinies, had just begun. If you want to directly support the creators behind the Vegas Bridge, and help fuel the continuation of Neo and Trinity's daring adventures, consider becoming a patron on our Patreon page. Your generous contributions will enable us to produce more chapters, expand the storyline, and bring you even more immersive experiences in the digital realm.